The coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the 15-year veteran Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers as they match up with Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room, and we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They're hot as can be. Winners of 8 of their last 9 games.
I don't know if you'd call this start a surprise exactly, but they've proven that they're going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with anybody.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games. Above 1 minute remaining here in the second quarter. This offense looking to get down at least into field goal range, but they're starting on their own side of the field. And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great. Let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And that's complete to Sanders. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And goal just inside the 5. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage, the rookie from Maryland. He's at the 40, past the 20, and into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Well, they only need 13, man. They'll try to run with Breida, and he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Matt Breida, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers get a score closer. On second down at 4, Garoppolo to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Emmanuel Sanders, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ain't that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. He's back to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. To throw is Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete.
You don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Got him in. He finds Sanders.
Oh, that's a big pickup right there. That play might have saved them. Now they got to get up to the line of scrimmage quick. They've got to spike it.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the convo, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Won't you?
Back to throw. And the coverage terrific. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Back to throw. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover. He'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. And his kick is indeed good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. Figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation...
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Breida. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down. Matt Breida out of Georgia Southern now in his 3rd year in a 49er uniform. He was tough to keep off the field last year. Very good yards per carry. 5.3 on 153 attempts. Good for over 8. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Garoppolo completes it to the tight end Kittle. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 18 yards, 1st down Niners. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes. Delivery, and I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
And this is going to on 1st down, here's Breida. And the result here, a pickup of 8.
In position, and that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Jair Alexander that time able to knock that one away.
On 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And now the Packers going to take another timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And he got it! The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And that will break our tie and give him a 3-point lead. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the 49ers, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Packers, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants.